I want to bring in our Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired four-star General Jack Keane, to talk about all this. And General, good to see you again. Let's go back inside our strategy session. They're meeting right now, and you have a lot of feelings and a lot of thoughts on what Vladimir Putin sees in Donald Trump. He's a unique leader, a unique president. What do you think that is, sir?
Yeah, well, definitely. I think, you know, the four presidents that he's dealt with, this is clearly the strongest. In fairness to Clinton and Bush, they were dealing with different issues. The global issues were certainly different. But by comparison to Obama, he's gone through a major transformation here. Here's why. Certainly, President Trump has said he wants to have a decent relationship with Russia and move the ball forward. But what he has seen this president do since he took office in January, push back on North Korea to the point now no ballistic or nuclear testing in 9 months and a potential for denuclearization remains to be seen. The Iranians fire a ballistic missile in the third week of his presidency. He sanctions them and says, knock it off. They've not fired another one since. Syrians use chemical weapons in their own people. He attacks them twice for that. Russian mercenaries attack our troops in Syria. We kill over 200 of them. The Ukrainians want anti-tank weapons. Trump gives them the weapons. Obama did not. Obama feared Russian escalation. We deploy additional troops into Eastern Europe as part of a NATO buildup. We pressure the NATO countries to up their coffers in defense. We get $14 billion additional monies out of Trump's pressure. He sanctions them for election meddling. And here, maybe the most significant thing of all, which Putin truly pays attention to. Remember, he pays attention to strength and to resolve, not rhetoric. Is our defense budget, the decline is over, and we've made two major significant increase in military capabilities. I'll tell you what, that has got Putin's attention. And, of course, the pipeline issue with Germany is an issue. And Trump just pushing back on unfair trade. He sees that as strength.
Yeah, we'll see how tough they get with each other behind closed doors. And we'll see the interplay with them when they take questions from reporters. I thought the list was interesting that the president listed off trade, missiles, military, nuclear, and China. We'll see how in-depth they get. But really, this whole thing went south 4 years ago in 2014. Putin goes into eastern Ukraine. They take Crimea. And Ambassador Huntsman was asked about that over the weekend by Chris Wallace. I want you to hear his answer. And then you'll hear the president's answer from 4 days ago on Crimea. Watch.
You can't rule out the possibility he might recognize Russia's annexation of Crimea?
Highly unlikely. Crimea was a violation of international law.
President Obama allowed that to happen. That was on his watch, not on my watch. You know, people like to say, oh, Crimea, but the fact is they built bridges to Crimea. They just opened a big bridge that was started years ago. They built, I think, a submarine port, substantially added billions of dollars.
The point is, when there was no pushback 4 years ago, Putin had a runway. And that's what you're describing to us today, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what the president has done since that time is push back. So he knows he's dealing with somebody that is confronting him. But the point about Crimea, I totally agree with the ambassador and what he's saying. This is a serious violation of international law. The United States is not going to concede Crimea to the Russians. I think where Putin is on this, we're likely not to make much progress on Ukraine and Crimea. And here's why. There's an election coming in Ukraine next year, and Putin is conducting a massive information campaign inside of Ukraine affecting the people. He's trying to get a political change in the order of things in Ukraine so he gets a favorable outcome and influence in that country politically that he doesn't have right now. He's going to wait for that, wait for those results.
Well, General, thank you so much. Please stand by there in Washington, D.C., okay? The meeting is underway right now. We're waiting for a readout. We'll see the reaction when we get it. Thank you, sir. Back to Sandra now.